almost sleep-like state where you go into such a deep trance that you just reveal everything in your inner workings. And today I felt compelled to heal through what I'm going through, whether it's a past issue with the ex or family trauma or something, whatever it may be. I am open to and receptive to receiving whatever healing I know that my soul needs right now through this body of Tony. Okay, so I'm gonna start, and even if it's like past lives, I might go into some past life energies here. So let us begin. I'm gonna start by relaxing and looking up without moving my head. You can follow along. Like I said, look up at a point in the ceiling and fixate on that point. Don't move your eyes. You can blink, but just fixate and on a count of 1, 2, 3. Breathe. And exhale. Keep focusing on that point you chose. Your eyes may slowly begin to start to wander down. That's normal. That just means you're getting into a state of hypnosis. Nothing to fear. We are in hypnosis every day, several times a day. We don't even realize it. Breathe again. Exhale. Keep focusing. And feel free to close your eyes. Let go. Drop, drop, drop. Deeper, deeper down. And on the count of 3, I'm going to open, then close my eyes. I'm going to go even deeper in hypnosis. Deeper than I already am. 1, 2, 3, open. Then close, going deeper every time I close and exhale. Every time I breathe, I go into a deeper and deeper state. On the count of 3, I'm going to open my eyes again. I'm going to go even deeper. 1, 2, 3, open. And close. Letting go. Letting go, dropping in even more in my body, getting more comfortable, more relaxed. One more time. 1, 2, 3. This is the final time where I go even deeper. And now my eyes are sealed tightly shut. I cannot open them any further, even if I tried. And I simply let go and stop trying because it gets too difficult to try. And now I see a spiral staircase. And I go down that spiral staircase, starting with step number 10, going deeper. Deeper down into sleep. 9. Feeling more relaxed, more comfortable, and at ease. I'm feeling so good now. 8. Deeper. Deeper into the chambers of my peace within. 7. Feeling so comfortable, so at ease. Going deeper within takes a sudden halt, slams open, and there's a bright, beaming rainbow light, and I walk through, and I don't even walk through, it just floods me, like it sucks me in without even me wanting. It starts to get colder every time. That's how I know I've reached the floor of relaxation. Setting the intent to go where I need to heal. Within. It's almost like I'm stuck in this rainbow. It's like they just want me to enjoy the light for the time being. This is why I've been feeling so good lately, like so at peace, like nothing's really been wrong. Like I haven't really been bothered by much of anything. I've just kind of honestly been even bored sometimes. Like, sometimes it's so boring to just have nothing going on, no drama, no negativity, like, no like attacks, you know what I mean, like spiritually. It's just kind of stillness, nothingness, and nothingness is completely and entirely boring. This is why no one really wants to go there, I'm gonna get up and check if it's still recording from time to time, but I'm still in hypnosis, even if I open my eyes. I've done this so many times, I've trained myself to stay in hypnosis even with my eyes open, but I prefer to keep them closed right now because that's what I'm naturally doing. Remember, every time I breathe, the deeper I go. So right now I'm being spaghetti holed out of like a tunnel, like a narrow tunnel. It's just looping me like this, like a little purple black tunnel, like I'm just looping through space and being taken to the bits of my past, and I've done many past life stuff, so I've healed pretty much all of it, and like, yes, partner. So I'm choosing the path of partner, so now it's sucking me in another path. There's like an A, B, and C path, and I'm going down A now. That's the past life or past partner issue. Like I've always have issues with love, like partners, and so I want to see what that's about. So they're showing me it's almost like I'm accessing the pits of my brain. It's like, the brain has little like spaghetti. Your brain looks like a bunch of noodles put together, right? It's like I'm accessing those noodles of remembrance. I know that sounds crazy. It's like I'm in a bowl of mac and cheese, but the macaroni is super long, and it's like it stretches for eons. I don't know why they had me like hum lately. It's like I have to lift my vibration for this before I'm prepared to see it, because what I'm prepared to see is probably a bit too dark. Ew, okay, it is dark. I can't believe I see this, but like I'm seeing myself as a spider. I'm sorry, you guys, I know. And it's not cute either, it's like big. It's like I'm seeing myself outside of myself, but that's me. It's like I'm at this gray. Oh, it's so gross. I know we've had to live many lives before we become human, but a spider, oh. It's huge though. Like, I mean, this is not a normal size spider. It's almost like it's a mile or 2 miles long. And, obviously probably another planet. Or maybe, yeah, it feels like another world. It doesn't look like ours at all. It's a world with many trees, many dense forests. It's nothing but that. It's like, it's not even trees. Well, in it they are, but it's like there's so many spiders in this world. It's like a spider world. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. And I was supposed to mate with other, let's just call them creatures. I don't like the vibration here. It's so gross. It's like, it's not like it's not a bad vibration that's on this world. It's just like because I'm so grossed out by spiders. Maybe this helps me get over my fear, but I'm like this. I look like, you know how a wolf has gray hair? That's how I look. I'm like a hairy, long tarantula, like, and I look nasty. I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, I have like this look of disgust on my face, like no one wants me, no one loves me, no one. Like I'm so ugly. Like nobody loves me. I'm just sitting there like sobbing, like why is everyone like afraid of me? Like nobody likes me. I'm not loved. Like there's other spiders that like make you love. Sorry, creatures make you love all the time. Okay, spirit is my guide, and so they're leading me to talk as if I'm the arachnid. So I will speak as if I am him, because I'm a male in this lifetime. Who goes there? Who are you? My name is Benny. Benny, if anyone is wondering. I'm here alone. There's nothing to fear, but I am in fear all the time. Because nobody is around. I would wish to have offspring. But nobody wants me. Nobody wants to come visit. I wish to die in peace. I just wish to free myself. Not to be alive any longer. What is this purpose of being here? If there is no one to share this space, this environment with, but yes, space. Now I see I'm overly large. I am a freak of nature, aren't I? I fill up the whole cavern that I reside in. There's no space. There's no room for a lover. There's no room for a mate when I have made myself quite comfortable here in my own misery. Yes, it looks like I should clean up my environment in order to attract a lady's creature. I do have children. One is left home. The other chooses to live with me, but we do not talk. They just kind of hang out, and whatever food I have left I give to them. It is not a nice life. They wish to see me happy, I know, because we can read each other's mind, but it is not the life I chose. It is not the life I want to live. Thus I am unhappy. I wish that something would just strike me one day and I would be free. I don't even want to move because I'm afraid that if I move, you see, I shall shake the entire cavern because I am that large. The lady spiders are not that large. It would be hard to reproduce with them. There are rumors and stories going around that I ate one of them. This is not fact. This is but fear spread around, gossip. I hate it here. I hate it here. I Why did I just die alone? I died literally of loneliness. Compassion is the lesson. Compassion for myself. Love for myself. Benny could have enjoyed his time with his daughter spider, but she was so little. But he didn't look at the blessings that he had a child, that he had a partner. Even though that partner passed away, I don't think he wanted to say, but I'm looking back and I see she died. There were a lot of spiders that died in that forest, but because he was so big, like no one could. He's not prey to anyone. Like he was looked at like as the hunter spider. Like that's why everyone thought he was attacking other spiders, and they thought he attacked his own partner, but that's not true. They were just afraid because he was so big. Like I want you to imagine like the tip of his hand, like the tip of his leg was the size of his like one spider. Imagine how big he is. Like, yeah, like he felt like a giant, like an ogre, like a freak, you know. He felt so ugly, and I guess this kind of relates to me today. Like, I feel in a sense. Let me not talk, because I don't want to judge my experience. I want to let spirit talk. This is very hard to do with self-hypnosis without a guide, but something that must be done for full healing. They're saying I should go on because compassion links to self-judgment. Like, you can't have compassion for yourself or others. Like, Benny couldn't for others when they were spreading gossip and rumors about him, you know. And it feels like, Tony, the issue that you're going through today is that you attract mates when you don't even realize it, who are gossiping about you or spreading lies, deceit, rumors about you. And this is what you fail to accomplish in terms of the lesson every time. And this is why we have sent you repeated patterns of people, because you need to realize what these people are saying to you behind your back. It is not always the nicest judgment. You think the problem is that maybe you're not good enough, you don't speak up enough, you don't look good enough. No, it is none of those things. In fact, it is none of those things for anyone. Really, sometimes the matter is the type of person you attract. So pay more attention to how your partners in your past, Tony, are speaking about others, and if they speak poorly of others, do they not speak poorly of you? I guess you're right. Who am I speaking with today? Higher self, okay. You come across as feminine, though. Who am I really speaking with? Unknown. Okay. Well, thank you for the guidance. Unknown. Spirit. Yes, I can have compassion for... They're asking me if I can have compassion for people knowing that I probably misspoke, misjudged, gossip about someone else too, and including my partners, yes. It is also me, I, all along, who have done that. Has Benny not gossiped about the others as they have gossiped about him? Yes, so he is not in the right or the wrong either, as they are. So nobody wins. So really, what is the lesson here? Is it about attracting a partner? Is it about just realizing people suck? What is it? You still have not learned the lesson, have you, my boy? It is not about any of those things. Focus not on yourself, rather on Benny. Focus on someone else. Put yourself in their shoes. What was it like? What did you feel? You did not resonate with what they went through, but you lived their experience as if you were in their spider shoes. So when you focus on someone else's life, you can realize their position, their angle. So could you focus on your past partner's life and see how at times they were maybe uncomfortable with something, how it must have felt to them to be with you. But it was not about you. Again, it was about them, because they could only perceive you in their eyes, not yours. Benny cannot control how other creatures perceive him. He felt small because he was unloved. But others felt he was taking up all the space, and even others were rumoring that he was making love to everyone. This is not a fact. So you see, a partner of yours could have thought you were cheating, could have thought you were better than them, could have thought you were bigger, had a more following, which they had a presence online. We won't go and discuss it. But, to say nicely with love, Tony has, it is his decision with his life, but I see he is not on this path furthermore, but he has been around and been with a few souls. Everyone has a different path. But these souls only brought him pain. There were some integrated lessons, but he needs to know how to appreciate the small moments. Okay, his partner believes that he was cheating, even though this was not the case. In fact, he never spoke to any other person during the course of this connection, but thus Tony suffers with what could have happened, were things to continue, what could have been, what could have happened, what could have been, and remember to focus. Focus on your life at this instance. You are not Benny. You don't feel the same where you just want to leave the planet you are on because someone doesn't love you. You've been loved, always, and embraced. You've been fine. You've been through it all. You see how distant, separated, and parted you are from Benny's life. You have lived that life. Stop repeating it. You have lived that existence. Stop existing it. Stop existing in it. There's no reason for you to suffer anymore. We had to play this for you to realize that story was done, and it was so painful. The fact that you perished out of pure loneliness means you had carried that energy, unhealed energy and vibration, into the next life and lifetimes as Tony. You don't need to do that anymore. Let it go. I free and release you now. You are free now to go. Thank you. Thank you, Benny, for the lessons. I'm sorry you went through that, but you're free to go into the light now. I'm talking as multiple people. I don't even know what I'm talking as, who I'm talking as. Sometimes I'm talking as Benny, sometimes the higher self, sometimes the spirit guide, sometimes even Merlin came through. I'm sorry for the confusion. I'm going back and forth. This is why it's very hard without assistance to do these and to have you know exactly who's speaking and who's not. But I'm Tony, of course, again. They're sucking me out of path A. Oh boy. And they're taking me down path B. It's a very long, narrow path. It's kind of dark, thorny, and twisted. It's not easy to cross through. They're bringing me to a center point of awareness. It's like, what do I feel or think I need to heal? My relationship with people in general. Like, I don't know why. Now that we healed the past partner thing and love, life, lovers, relationships, whatever. Just people in general, even though I have no like love interest, and just in general, just people in general that I come across, communicate, talk with, not counting friends that I've had, because it's like, even with friends, okay, there were some friends that I can't really connect with anymore, that's why we kind of part ways, but like friends in general, like when I meet friends and then we're like friends for a long time, that's easy. Like, obviously there's a connection, you're a friend for a reason because there's a connection, there's nothing weird about that. But people, other strangers, like, is it, ugh. I burped, and when you burp, like, oftentimes when you have an awareness of something within you, you're gonna have like a fart or a burp, because you're having a reaction to, like, oh, you're aware of that block within you, and then it has to release itself, right? So anyway, just like my interactions with people have been a little bit off. Like, I feel whenever I communicate with strangers, like, I always want to like shy away, I want to walk away. Like, you know, I've had many opportunities to make friends or just like, you know, talk with people or stuff like that, and I always tend to shy away out of hurt and pain, and universe knows my story. I'm just sharing for the purpose of the video, but you know what's inside of me, higher self, guides, whoever is out there. Allow me to access path B. Yes, they're asking me, do you really want to access it? Yes, I'm not afraid. You told me yourself, don't be afraid. So I'm gonna press the button on the screen and go. They're telling me this is ancient stuff. This goes back, way back. Like, why I feel so like left out, alone. Again, kind of like Benny, but like, again, just even with interactions. Why is that? It's weird because I can't make sense of it. Again, this is like another world. It reminds me so much of like ancient China. It really does. Like, I'm Asian here, but I'm a slave. I'm chained. I'm like locked up. Like, I have to sleep in like a tiny, like, I don't know if it's like a room, but there's bamboo. It's a bamboo door, but it's good luck kicking that door open, especially when you're barely fed, you're weak from overworking, and you're just tired. So I don't bother, because at least they give me food, a sackcloth or whatever to cover myself. They give me some like, it's like this slimy water to wash myself. It's almost like aloe, but not really. Just so I don't smell. And it creates like a coated layer on my skin so I don't burn in the sun. It's almost like I'm sending her healing. Yes, it's a her. I was a woman here. And I have like a long, thick, dark black hair, like a Native American woman. I look Native, but I'm Asian. I'm like pasty skinned. And I look so young, but my eyes look like I've had like 500 lives. I'm so tired in the eyes and worn out, and I don't even cry anymore. Like, that stopped when I was like 12, because like, this is your only existence and this is all you know. So it's like there's nothing to cry. You just kind of go on with it, right? You just get so used to being this slave. Ah, yes. Spirit is showing me this links with my overworking in this life. It's like I'm trained and programmed. This was the life where they were training me to work hard and, move ahead. Go, go, go. But again, it's something I choose. It's like I don't have to. It's just I like it. I like to suffer, right? Again, it's like I'm holding onto these chains. It's like because I chose to be here in a weird way. It's like I didn't have to be the slave, but I walked into that village one day and just like I wanted to get away from my family. I thought they were horrible to me. My mother didn't treat me properly. A lot of fights. She like lashed me in the face a couple times with like a whip, just so anyway, that's over. I'm talking about the mother in this past life, not Tony's life. I seem like just still kind of like I'm very tired, but I'm still somewhat happy. I think because I have this like ego thing that's like, yeah, I freed myself from my mom who was treating me horribly. Like to me, I'm like, aha, I win. But no, like I'm looking at her mom in her house. Like her mom is living through hell, trying to find her daughter every day. Like there's wanted signs. There's like, she's letting the other villagers know. Believe it or not, she's even telling like the pandas this. Like she's telling the birds, the storks, like she's telling everything she can find, like help me find my daughter. I guess they have a belief of like spirit gods, spirit animals as gods. So she's like talking to the pandas as if they're like God and asking them for forgiveness, asking them to like she even like lashed herself in the face out of guilt. Like, oh, poor mom. Oh, now I see what I did to my mom. And now I'm crying. Like 15, 16 years old, and like I'm now feeling her guilt. It's like I'm connected to my past mother. Why am I so guilty? I caused more damage than I meant to, just out of ego, and it's like I worked so hard. I didn't work hard just to prove myself to anyone. But like I worked so hard so I could get my mind off the guilt that was eating me alive for what I did to my mom. It's like she thinks I was kidnapped, but I chose to walk away from home. 2,500 coins. Like there was like some coins in a pouch and like a pamphlet. It's some Asian, like, but it's a different planet, so it's not really Asian. It's just like other symbols. Like it looks Mayan or I don't know. Check right. The directions to like the nearest train or like village, something like that. And I had to pay like my last 2,500 just to get there, and that's how I escaped. So that was my backpack, which they kept, but once I went there in the slave village, I call it the slave village. I didn't know another name for it because there's like different creatures and other languages and stuff that I don't understand. So I can't read their billboards. So they keep me dumb because they don't want me to know anything. Obviously, otherwise, if I know how to read the signs, I'll know how to escape. Obviously, I'll know the right people to ask to leave. So that's why they stamped, like they had a stamp approval that I didn't want to leave ever. Like a lifetime contract to stay there, work, and then die. and that I had no home to return to. I had to pretend like I was homeless, or like that I had no mother, no father, no siblings. I just was like lost, and I said anything just to get away, but I was so young, like 12, honestly. Like, what do you know at 12? So, you think you know everything, but you don't. So obviously, I didn't realize the consequences until 3-4 years. There was like this princess or something that came to me, and she spoke with me, and I guess it's like a charity offer thing. Like, she's there to like, spend the day with the slaves and like brush their hair, and maybe she did it out of ego or to appease to her villagers too in the faraway lands. I don't know where she's from, but she said she comes from around the mountains. So she's like living behind the mountains that are far in the distance. So she's really far away, but she looks like super preppy, like I'm telling you, like literally, like super, like you can tell she comes from not here. She doesn't have to work and sweat and lift a damn finger. Like, I almost wanted to like spit in her face because I was so jealous. And I realized in that moment I could have had her life had I just waited 3-4 years. Reconciled with my mother. I'm feeling so much like anger, but more like resentment to myself. Not even my mother, not even the princess. It's not even about the people who make me this hardworking slave. It's about me. I know I made the decision to be here, to do this. And it's back to the lesson why I'm here. I see muscles. I grew muscles. It's like I grew stronger from this. I knew that I had to keep going, and one day I would meet my mom again. But again, the guilt ate me sometimes because I knew, like, what if she passed on? What if she dies of guilt, or whatever? Maybe she thinks like she wasn't good enough mother to keep an eye on me, and someone took me in the middle of the night. She thought that, like, all sorts of stuff. Like, she's a bad mother for not keeping an eye on me, and I thought she would have died from that. But I'm like 24. It's like many years later. I finally get out. There were other kings/rulers from other towns, I guess from the princess's town. Or it's more like the neighbor next to the princess, but anyway. And I guess she told them about like our living conditions, and they found a clause in the contracts that I stamped, and they freed me because they said there was an error, and technically under some coded law, there was a clause they found. There was a loophole, so I was free. But I kept feeling this like guilt that like, wow, I just wasted like 12 years of my life being here when this whole time I didn't have to be here. Like, it's like selling your soul. You can't sell your soul. It's impossible. You can't. There's always that clause, And I think the princess, even though again I'm like, oh my god, I look so dirty, I look so old. Like, she's like in her 30s and I look older than her. She sends me to she wipes my face with a sponge, but it stings. Like, even the water stings. Like, fresh clean water stings on my face because it hasn't been cleaned properly in so long, just with this icky crap. So she sends me by the river, but again, she's like taking care of me, and it like burns. It like my skin is on fire. I'm telling you, it's like water feels like fire to me. So they sent me to this like hospital thing. It's not really a hospital, it's more like it's like probably like the cheapest hospital you've ever seen, but at least it's free. And I spent a lot of time with the birds and nature and just kind of finding myself again. I'm like very dizzy because I've been malnourished, and so that takes me a long time to recover. But I'm feeling so much love for the princess. Oh, I'm like, okay. All right. I didn't know she rolled that way, but that makes sense why she'd be thinking about that princess. She's physically attracted to that princess, this girl. Amaya. Maybe that's why I kept saying Mayan. I think my name is Amaya. But it's like Amaya, Amaya, something like that. Or maybe that's the princess's name. No, that's my name. I see it on the paper. There's like a stamped document that I'm now a citizen of Coltehendra. Coltehendra? Coltehendra. Once I'm given all my vitamins, they give me a big meal. It's still light. They eat very light, but it's like a big meal. And like my stomach kind of hurt because I'm not used to eating all this good food at once. So it kind of gives you like heartburn or whatever. But our bodies are also kind of different, like built different. Like our muscles are more defined, and I can't explain it. We look kind of like everything you can think of in a human is more defined. Like your shoulder blades, it's like we're more lean. We're more, only really like the highest up king rulers are like plump, chubby, because they just don't care. Like they're there, so they don't, what's the point of eating good? Like they don't care. They can indulge. So, but like to me, it's even an honor that I'm with the princess. I mean, this feels like members of a geisha, literally. Like it just feels like, but I never get to be princess. I kind of died at 26. I think just because no matter, I think I would have lived longer had I continued being a slave, because my body got so shocked to the culture and I felt so like different. This is going back now to different, why I feel so different among people. I felt like that overworked slave, and I see others as the princesses and the queens and the rulers. When this is not true, everyone's equal. Tony needs to stop looking at people like that. It's irony, right? Because others perceive Tony this way. Others like, oh my God, you're so famous online and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But he feels not good. He feels not worthy. He feels not loved. He feels not like Benny, right? Benny, the tarantula. Or whatever, the creature, he feels like the Asian girl who was having to work to death, literally. I mean, in this past life, he doesn't feel worthy. And it's just no two ways about it. I'm sorry, Tony, but you don't feel worthy. I feel sorry for you sometimes, but you need to see her worth. She had to see her worth to meet the princess. You have to see it to exist it. So you have to see yourself worthy. You don't get worth by anything. Tony used to think he had worth when he was way younger. By the number of people who, were following him and watching him and who love him, like the more love he got online. And that's, I'm not saying that's all he had at the time. That's all he thought he had, because that's all he could see, you see. And then when he realized this never gave him satisfaction, this one and only thing he focused on, he made it his world. It ruined him. It made him feel less than. It made him feel inferior rather than equal. He thought it would have made him feel superior, but that was not the way. You're not supposed to feel superior. He felt the opposite, inferior, but he was portraying a superior character to compensate for the inferior feeling within. So, we can relate Benny and Amaya to your story, Tony, of failed partners. Disconnect, difference from others. That princess was no better than you. No one is. And likewise, you know better than them. She saved you, rescued her from that village because she saw that. She saw herself in you, Amaya. She knew she could have been that little girl any day had she chosen to walk away from her mother's home. And this is why Tony has had a fantasy of like running away, getting lost, running away from just disappearing, being okay with getting a plane, going to South Africa and vanishing, never to be heard or seen again. He's okay with this because this is this connection to Amaya. And you see how your partner also, you can have compassion even more now because he too felt this way. You judged the very thing you were, Tony. Yeah. I didn't realize this until now. Did we cover all grounds? Are we ready? Okay, we can go to Path C, the final life that's affecting me. For the most part, I'm sure there's other things to heal, but these are three major key components today. So they're sucking me out of the noodle hole of Path B. Oh, I'm glad that's over. And we can go down Path C. This feels lighter, gentler, but fast. Ooh, I'm speeding through. Ooh, I don't even see it coming. I'm on a spaceship. Whoa, this feels like very high vibration. This feels like... I'm feeling like the sound of the craft. We're going so fast. Like, oh no, I don't like this guy. Why does he have to be the captain leader of this craft? We call him Uncle, but I don't like the guy. I'm sorry. He's just always wanting to be in charge and make decisions. I'm a male, but I can't tell. I feel like a woman, but I'm a man. Anyway. I'm going to give myself some time to get that judgment brain out of the way. Maybe take some deep breaths to go deeper. To be synchronized in with the storyline of this past life. Only focused on the lesson, not on the judgment. Dictating only what I see, sense, and feel, nothing else. There's someone there that's this lady that's always cracking jokes, and she's like kind of just lifting the energy, and she knows she has to be there to lift the energy because this guy, Uncle, Captain Leader, is not it. Like, he's slim, beautiful man, attractive, but like he's just I don't want to say, okay, this is not my judgment as Tony, but as the person in this life, this is why I keep judging him. It's like, this is about judgment. This is what this lifetime's lesson is. I'm healing the judgment. It's hard not to judge this guy because I just can't stand it. Like, I feel some type of way about this guy. Like, it's hard. It's so hard not to judge this dude. Especially when others feel this way about this guy. Like, you don't own the freaking spacecraft, okay? He's taking this craft faster than we've ever been. He's trying to go to loop us from the 6th to the 7th dimension. So you know now how we're trying so hard to go into 4th, 5th, 6th, D, whatever. Guys, it never ends. When we get to 5, 6D, we're going to want to go to 7th, 8th, 9th. This is what they're trying to do. So like we're in the era of trying to go into 5D plus. They're in the era of trying to go to like 7, 8 plus. Right now it's 7. Okay, we're rushing it, but we're not that fast. But we're in space. So because we're in 6D, we can go in space and travel and do all this nonsense. It's not nonsense. It's a lot of freaking work. But anyway. But this guy is kind of arrogant. I'm just going to let it out. I have to let that emotion out. Like the frustration for it to heal. You cannot heal until you let it out. So I have to judge him. Like I hate him. I'm sorry. I hate him. Like I hate him like I hate being here sometimes with this guy. Like if he wasn't there, if only like someone else was the leader. I don't want to be the leader because I'm just not a leader role, but anyone but him. Like why can't we have the funny lady be the leader, right? But everyone thinks she's like too distracted and too out there and not level-headed enough, and because she has like no experience repairing the craft, that she's not qualified. Because if one of us like has a mishap, she has to know how to repair the spaceship. So anyway, she can't be the leader. But I almost feel like some people chose him only because he's like this male energy, and I can't believe people are still judging that in the 6th dimension. But okay. Shows that we're not ready for 7D, that's for sure. But anyway, not that I'm any better, but I'm like rolling my eyes. Like I'm so done with this place. So he's rushing it. We're supposed to stay where we are. Like we just made it to 6D and he already wants to jump us to 7. Like a child that wants to like have the nicest new Hot Wheels playset. Like a spoiled, entitled brat. And I just want to say it, but if I say something like that, I'm literally going to be lowered to like 4D. Like literally, like your vibration. That's funny. I'm literally purposely wanting to lower my vibration just so I don't face him. Like I want to go back to 5D just so I don't see him. That's kind of funny, isn't it? But I know I'll still see him because 5 is 6 is like you're still gonna see each other in that. Like I'm even thinking like, oh my god, like 4D sounds great right now, just not to be with this dude. Oh my god, I'm so judgmental. Oh, I was so horrible. I was literally plotting a way to like get him to. Okay, so I had a little malicious spirit there. I was plotting a way to like get him to like, oh my god, this sounds horrible. I'm just gonna say it like oh my god, I can't believe I did this. How do I even say this without sounding so mean? Oh my god. So there was like stuff in the spaceship you can open, like latches. And you know how like in the cartoons when you roll the Jack in the Box and then the boxing glove comes out? I wanted something like that, a contraption to bop him in the teeth so they break. And so he gets out as leader and has to go to heal. I don't know how they do that, but they like repair or put him in a structure that would like heal him, but that would take like a month of like I want to say it's like a ozone radiation therapy, something like that. Like it's just everything is with like sound waves, and that would kind of restructure his vessel so he could repair his oral cavity. Does that make sense? I don't know. This sounds so mean, but I did not like this guy. Did I actually go through with it? No. Thank God. No. But I thought it many times. I was like, oh my God. Why would I do that? Where does this go back? Why do I have that much hatred to want to even think of that? Well, we don't feel pain in that 6D, so that's good. So this wouldn't have caused him pain, thankfully. So I knew that. That's why I couldn't empathize. It's so strange. Like, people don't believe me when I say this. And I'm sorry to say this. This is going to sound like conceited or whatever, but I don't care. It's just a hypnosis session. There's no empathy in the higher Ds. Like starting 4, but more like 5 and up. What is there to empathize with when everything just is? There's nothing to empathize with. There's no pain, you see? So you only empathize with someone's pain, correct? So how do you relate to someone going through something when they're not going through anything at all? So reason why it's so boring in the higher vibrations, reason why people don't stay in the higher vibrations is because it's boring. And this is why me in this life created the drama so that it lowered my vibration, you see. So it was not the leader's fault. It was mine all along. It was me creating the issue in the atmosphere. It was me judging them, and thus why the vibration changed, and thus why Tony has these, switching back again to my higher self, Tony has these judgments about people. Man, can't get along with anyone. He's the one, just like anyone else is capable, he's the one who changed the energy, the atmosphere. This is why the lady knew this. She tried to lighten the load, and why he always attracts a funny lady in his life. It's kind of funny, like in any group he meets, he always attracts that like funny lady that lifts the vibration. And she knows she's doing this for him. It's because, honestly, and this goes back to his father, but we won't go into that today. Sometimes when he walks in a room, it's just like, and this is part of his purpose, it's not labeling Tony as a person. It is just what he's meant to do right now to make people realize what they should be doing. So some people have to be the one that makes others laugh. Some people have to be the one that's a team leader, because clearly Tony's not. Tony wants to be quick to jump on the train of judgment, and he's not the one that's going to get on board and be the leader himself, you see? But he's so drawn to the laughter energy. And that's why he appears cynical sometimes, because it's like he laughs about others suffering too, because he wants them to feel what he's going through, because it's so painful to be in that uncomfortable spot. So when he walks in a room, in a group, sometimes, yeah, people will feel that energy shift and feel like all of a sudden grumpier or something. But it's not that his energy is bad, it's his energy's intending to raise awareness about the bad in others. So, in a sense, when this occurs, laugh more. Lift that vibration, Tony. Change the energy. Make a joke, crack a joke, be funny. And this is why he does have a tendency to do this. He knows subconsciously, like, you can't frown while you're laughing. It's impossible. So, this is why I say, don't focus so much on what you're there to bring to the table, whether it's grumpy energy or whatever. Focus on the result, the end result. So the end result was the leader eventually knew that it would be too fast. The lady spoke with him. She may have used maybe her flirtation skills too, but anyway, that's another story. She convinced him to stop, to slow it down, and we ended up changing roles with another guy, which is good. So Tony calmed down, he became better. He wasn't called Tony in that life. I'm not sure his name. There's like no name. I think we were given like codes, his name, like 1100235667, blah blah blah. You know, there's no like name. But if you wanted to call someone, you wouldn't call them by 1102. You would call them by the first number. So like 1. Hey, 2. And I think he felt so confined to that craft because there's nowhere else to go but that craft. You're stuck in space. So, especially when you're on an assignment, a mission that's important. This is why he has such a hard time working in groups. There's always that one person he feels some type of way about. Remember, judge yourself first. What am I bringing to the table? This grumpy energy. Okay. Why? Oh, okay. Then let's lift the vibration. Let's not make others suffer what I suffer. And by doing that, you don't suffer anymore. You see the smile, the laughter, the joy in other people's faces. You won't want to see them suffer. Why would you want to see someone suffer who's laughing? Then you're the cynical one, and that's not Tony. Tony is not the type of person to want to see someone suffer because they laugh. There are people like that, and they're very, unfortunately, sick. But anyway, you know, those people who never want to see you happy, who are so bothered by you smiling even. Yeah, that's not him, thank God. But it's easy to become like that if you're around enough of that energy, enough people like that. So this is why you should distance, not so much distance yourself, but love anyway, because love heals all. So you see, as Benny, with Benny, you just had to overcome that life with Amaya. You simply had to realize that, well, have we already forgot the lesson? But you simply had to realize whatever that life was about, just as with Benny. And same with this one. I guess there is no lesson here. It just is. It is what occurred. We uncovered and revealed that there was judgment. There was a feeling of overwork, slavery, and a feeling of loneliness. Difference. You were different, remember? With Amaya, you were different, yes. Overworked and different. Benny was loneliness, unloved. And with the spaceship guy, it was just simply judgment and almost like resentment. And we filtered out some of that anger today, and that's good. And so we worked through a lot of issues deep down that were already going on, and hopefully we can heal that subconscious to enable you to move on from these lives and realize that they were all different lives and that you're not living those lives now. You just carried them with you because they were unhealed energy. And now that we had an awareness of this, that you can go on and move on and merge these three souls into light. So now I'm just going to wash them. I'm going to send them light and love, wash them with that light, love, frequency codes. Thank you, higher guides. Thank you for allowing me to do this journey today, the healing. So now I loop myself away from the path of C. And I see myself burning away all paths, A, B, C. So there's no more paths to those lives, no more link or connection. It's as if it never happened. And I free myself. Thank you, Benny. Thank you, Amaya. Thank you, Spaceship Guy. For the lessons. You're free to go. And now I come back. Come back out of the light, out of the rainbow light, up the elevator, out, up the spiral staircase, up, out of my hypnotic state. 5, 4, stretching, moving. 3, waking up like a cold splash water in my face. 2, breathe, stretch, open my eyes. 1, back wide awake here in the present moment in time. So yeah, that was an hour and 5 minutes. Wow. 3 major things, really 4 or 5 things to heal through. And that was powerful. And maybe this gave you also, because you heal while you watch this as well, an awareness of some things you're doing. Because I'm not alone in this, even though it hurt to hear a lot of this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, oh my God, we really are imperfect human beings. But in that imperfection, you find perfection again. And nothing really matters, you know? I feel sort of just like I freed myself from that, which I was scared or avoided so long. And they're only going to show you in hypnosis what you're ready for anyway, so there's probably more. Now that I peeled this back for me to access eventually. But it also makes you realize you're a multidimensional layered being, and there's so much more to your current reality than you can even begin to conceive. And this is why everything's exciting nowadays, because we're tapping into all of that energy, which was not before. I mean, do you see anyone having done this in the 40s, in the 60s? No. I'm sure there's deleted information, suppressed knowledge, but anyway, again, this is entertainment purposes only. Take what you will, leave what you won't. I'm not here to claim anything as fact. This is just diving deep into my past lives. That spider was creepy. But looking back, like, I loved him. Like, yeah, when I saw how sad he was, I was like, oh, he didn't mean anyone harm. No. But he was big. I wouldn't put him in my room, just saying. I couldn't. He was like literally like 2 miles long. I'm not joking. You can't even begin to imagine the size. Like, and how would he put himself between 2 trees? Like he literally, I saw, I didn't even say it, but because sometimes you see things so fast, you don't have time to say it. And time is different when you're in hypnosis. Like, this felt like 10 minutes to me, but anyway. He had to make a huge spider web, like multiple spider webs between 2 trees that were like 2 miles apart, just so that he could sit comfortably. But it was such a big forest and dense that there were trees all around. Like there was like, it was so big, like, and everyone had their own little home with the spider webs. And yeah, Amaya suffered a long time, but she didn't even like suffer. She was just like so used to working. And that's how I see myself today. My life is like, some days I'm like so used to, like, you know, in a sense, we're all kind of like that. You know, sometimes I jokingly say like, oh, I'm such a S-L-A-V-E. But it's true. It's like we're all, you know, slaving away at our jobs and working so hard all the damn time. And it's like, but at least you're not Amaya, you know, at least you're not there. It makes me sick to think there's even like people to this day still like that. Like, we don't even know where they are, but they're, anyway, I won't go into it. Working for someone else. But again, a lot of times they chose, like literally, like in The Memoirs of a Geisha, like, didn't one of the girls like choose to run away, if I remember correctly? But anyway, or the parent chose them to be taken, right, for money. But this was the roles reversed. It wasn't the mom that chose. She was a bad mom, but she became a good mom when she realized the consequences of being a bad mom. But anyway, that was an interesting life, and I'm just giving feedback. I'm not so much evaluating the lessons anymore, since we already covered that ground. But and then the spaceship guy, the higher out there stuff is always way more complicated and difficult to understand. But we have a long way to go, guys. Like, everyone's so excited thinking like, oh yeah, 5D, that's gonna be all like different. But in a sense, like, I felt like it's already here. Like, we already can consciously choose. Here's the thing. So I don't know everything. Obviously, I don't have all the answers, but what I came to realize lately is that, like, with AI and all this stuff going on, the more we're tapping into our powers, our abilities, our knowledge, our upgrades with technology and everything, which is good and bad, in my opinion. Because everything is good and bad, if you think about it. That's how we access those energies. How do you think you manage to live in a spaceship? Again, we have to get there with time, right? We have to access these energies with time. That's why we're starting to, you know, work with nuclear fusion and all this stuff, right? It's because as it's not so much, okay, yeah, I do believe we have to see it on the inside first for it to manifest outside. So as we see that future life within ourselves first, then the 5D shows up. It's not going to show up in your life until you elevate. Within, inside. Heal, do the work. And even those people, that's why, sometimes we have to give them respect for doing all this technology and amazing stuff and all these innovations they're coming up with. Yeah, we may not agree with everything they're doing, but it's helping us elevate too. With new technology, it gets exponential, and we reach that point where we're there. It operates on its own, and then we realize ourselves through that operation. We've made it. We've constructed it. So if we are creating our own Amaya field, does that make sense? Our own trapped, overworked field, it's us who did it, no one else. Who are we to blame but ourselves? Then ourselves. Because energy will go where it flows, right? I mentioned that the other day. So where you focus, if you focus on the innovation and the creativity and the beauty and what it can bring, that's what you'll get. If we are this way, I don't agree. Like, even sometimes I have to back away from, even the proper community, because I'm like lately I just haven't, for weeks now, I haven't watched any one of those videos, because I'm like, there's a vibration to it that's now anger. Do we really want to keep channeling this anger energy moving forward? Because change is inevitable. It will happen. We cannot stop it. It's already too late. How are you going to choose to shift your vibration to make the most of it, to enjoy the fruits of what life gives us? Amaya found enjoyment in overwork. She loved it. She did. I didn't need to heal that. What I needed to heal was the guilt of what she did to others. So if these people are creating our future reality at this instance, and they realize the damage in the future, what they've done to humanity, if ever, I'm just giving a hypothetical question, they will feel the guilt of that. That's not your problem. That's something they need to heal. Your problem is enjoy what you are given at this moment. Because thank God you're not Amaya, you're not Benny. You may feel what they feel, but not with the same intensity, I guarantee. You're not that life. You're not living that life if you're watching this video. You're not in a forest literally alone. You're not trapped somewhere without internet and nothing, no access to. So obviously, and Amaya still found the beauty of her life. And she attracted the princess. She saw it and it showed up. What do you see with this future world? You can't change the world. What do you see inside of you that you create for yourself? Instead of sitting there and being angry and pointing the finger, how about what you can do for yourself about it? What life can you lead? So again, this is not about me. This video is not. I made this so that you can have a sense of realization. And the reason I make and produce these content is so that we can elevate together consciously. We can go in the future together, moving forward, knowing that we've healed this together. I gave you this video to realize something about you that needs work too. And we can change the energy. And then maybe one day we work together in that spacecraft in 6D and we can get along. Isn't that awesome? Doesn't that sound so much fun? I know it didn't sound fun in the hypnosis. Oh my God, this guy sucks. Why is he leader? Captain, leader, whatever. Whatever. Maybe that's not the life I want to live, is in a spaceship like Star Trek. No, thank you. But a life I saw nonetheless. But why couldn't I find the joy like the lady laughing? She found joy. How did she do it? It was within her, no? Was it not? Isn't it within you too? And see, when I saw the change within me as that guy in the spaceship, the leader changed. Instead of me doing that Jack in the Box thing to his teeth, in a mean way, I I saw that I needed to talk with the funny lady and tell her that she needed to stand up and talk to the guy. And that's when the energy changed. That's how we get out of bad situations. It's not sitting here telling someone there's no hope left for humanity, telling someone that it's all over. No, it's not. We're still here. We're still strong. We're still around. We're still alive. And we're going to continue doing so because God wants to see us elevate. And our future self, who's also probably right now doing a regression on my current life. You ever think that? We're time travelers, no? How can I see my past? And how can not my future self see my past? Even in a future life. My future life will see my current life as Tony in their past life regression, no? You ever think about that? Because I can see into the past. Others could see. You ever read books on hypnosis and stuff? Look into all that work. Accurate depictions every single time of past points in history. They have no knowledge or recollection whatsoever what have happened before. And they look back in the textbooks and they say, whoa, this person in regression was on point with that life in that period of time. Like to the T. Even given, of course, details that were not in the books. Yeah. So, I'm not saying any of this is real. Like, sometimes you need to see a past life that's not real so you can heal something within you. But I believe other worlds exist. But that's another story. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like more of this work, subscribe, tap the bell, hit all notifications. I do upload every day, and do check out my website, please, to help fund and support this journey. This video was quite a bit of work, even though I was just sitting here, closing my eyes. Oh, this takes work, y'all, okay? It's not easy to heal. You sweat, you cry, your heart palpitates. It's like, it's a whole process, and I'm still gonna need some time to, like, let this sink in, in a sense, in my deeper subconscious. So, yeah. A lot of times with this work, it takes a few days until you notice the changes in your real life. Once you reprogram your subconscious mind, which is the point of these sessions. Thank you. Oh, and that accent, by the way. Benny had an accent, girl. So does Merlin. I already know Merlin had an accent. But Benny, the spider, he sounded like he was from Scotland or something. Anyway. Bye, y'all. Check out TonyBomboni.com, link below. Book yourself a session and check out my ASMR albums. I just posted a new ASMR album. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page on my ASMR album page on my website to see the latest one. Bye. I love you guys.